What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Had kind of an interesting day here. And, you know, it's frustrating when somebody is employed to do a job, and they just won't go that extra mile. And so we had the tree in our yard. It was trimmed today, and my only complaint, I mean, did a great job on the tree. My only complaint is, I asked him if I put on a bikini if he'd trim my bush, and he didn't want anything to do with it, and that was pretty disheartening. No, I that's actually what I said to the landlord. I'm not joking. When the landlord told me yesterday that he'd be here today, I asked the landlord if I wore a bikini if he'd trim my bush, and his reply was something like, "Yeah, but you're not gonna like it." Anyway, bunch of good guys did an awesome job. They really did. So, got to see a pretty cool piece of equipment today too. It was a lift that he was using, and from what I gather, this particular lift was made specifically for arborists in mind, people that do tree work. And man, was that thing one neat machine. It was a track. It ran on tracks. It didn't have wheels. It ran on tracks. You know, had this typical style bucket, you know. It didn't have like a big platform. It was a bucket. But it was just so neat. And the not the wheels, but the tracks will actually scoot up underneath the machine. If you push the right levers, the machine will raise up and the tracks will scoot underneath of it. And what that does is it creates such a narrow machine that it's only 3 foot wide. So they could get it through like a fence gate or something like that. And that is like the coolest thing. And I forget, I want to say it's 70-something foot or something is how far you can go up with it. Pretty impressive machine. I was highly impressed with it. And I used to do, and I'm sure some of you have heard me talk about it, I used to do hydraulic work, so I know those types of machines quite well, but I'd never seen that particular machine. And I'll tell you what, out of every machine that I am knowledgeable about, when it comes to that stuff, that one by far wins. That was an incredible machine. So better be $85,000. It better be really damned incredible. But and that was, I think he said he's had it like 10 years. Hard to say what they won for it today. Anyway, so that was cool. Didn't get a lot of flying in today because of that. I did a little bit. I flew around Mount Everest for a little bit in a PC-21. And then I got with Fire Marshal Bill earlier, and we were flying a couple of different places. We went to Alaska for a little while, and then I think it was New Zealand that we were in, and both really awesome places to fly. So that was fun. Found a couple of settings that I had wrong, and got that squared away. And I must say that now my graphics are like loads and loads better. It's not as skippy, stuttery, and really awesome. We were there was this little bitty island, and there was really no place to land on the island, but around the edge of the island there was a little bit of coastline here and there, and I found one that I thought, it looks like I could probably get down and stopped. And sure enough, me and him was landed down there on the little coast of a little tiny island, and I'll tell you what, Fire Marshal Bill can hold his weight in an aircraft. So if you could stick that landing, you got my respect. It was a challenging landing, and here I'm in VR, so I'm like in full scale, and it was a challenging landing. I couldn't imagine just looking at a screen and doing that one. It was it was definitely a tricky one. So, anyway, trying to think of anything else. That's pretty much, like I said, outside most of the day, watching them. But did a great job. Like I said, I no worries at this point now about storms and tree limbs. There was one up there that was a little bit, it's living and everything. It's not like it's dead or anything like that. But man, it's just awful big, and it's awful right over. And no, they trimmed that all back real nice, and no worries about it now at all. Anyway, I don't know of anything else. I know there was plenty of news today, and out of all the news today, I thought this was kind of crazy. Out of all the news today, and there was plenty of it, I was outside, and my phone and my watch just started blowing up. What in the hell is going on, So, I'll be damned if I didn't have about 7 different notifications about the FDA considering making the birth control pill, non-prescription. And it's like, really, out of everything that's going on in the world, that is what you had to break with such big, roll out the marquee and the red carpet event kind of thing for frickin'. So there's something today that they didn't want us to know about. So we'll probably be covering whatever the hell that is. Crazy. And that's been much of the news lately. It's like only stories that it used to be they would have a little back and forth on content, and now it's not. It's just steady agenda. And I'm talking about for both sides. It's not a one-sided thing. It's both sides do it. Now, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people in this nation that's going to be blindsided because they're all worried about this, that, and the other thing. Things that really, and not really gonna put them in a bad way. And they don't even see the things about to hit them that will. That is crazy. That's why I think it's imperative that as many of us, be that voice. Be that voice. Be the lighthouse in the dark when they start to seek that, because when you realize what's going on, how big it is, and it's a very, very intimidating thing. And I've seen it overwhelm several people. That's what I'm saying. It's time we really have those tough conversations, even with people just that we don't even know very well. But we need to have those conversations. Because not having those conversations isn't going to be a benefit to anybody. Nobody. I've said it a million times. You don't have to tell anyone about a damn thing that you have. You don't have to tell people where you live. None of that. None of that. And believe me, there is such a very, very, very tiny chance that somebody say that you work with, but don't know real super well, would follow you home after work to know where you live so that when the apocalypse came, they knew where to go. That's the kind of paranoia shit that makes preppers look bad. Just saying. And there's a fair amount of it. I mean, what was full spectrum survival today? Oh, it's time. Bug out or suffer. What comes next? You know, what was, what's his name? Asymmetrical preparedness. And I like the guy. But this stuff is insane. You won't survive unless you do this. Really. You know, are we trying to help people, or are we just trying to get clicks? Because I thought the premise was help people. But it doesn't seem it, because they keep hammering out the same damn points over and over and over with a different catchy title. And it's, you know, again, it's not that I don't like these people. I like asymmetrical preparedness. I think he's an incredible guy. I really do. Just because you're a good guy doesn't mean that you don't, you know. I don't have a nice way of putting it. I really don't. Because the Father doesn't want me to have a nice way of putting it. When you whore with Babylon, it is what it is. And if you're out here doing this to get clicks, for vanity, for any of those, even for just financial. Now, if it's just financial or whatever, and that's just what it is, probably not a big deal. But if you go out there misleading people, telling them about how much you love them and care about them, and that's why you do what you do and all that, when in reality you do it for the money, I'm pretty sure the Father's not cool with that. Pretty sure. But don't quote me. You quote the Bible if you want. It's in there. But, you know, gotta read it. Anyway. And I know, there's a lot of people that do read it, but there's a difference in reading something to get information and reading something to affirm information. And it's two totally different things with two totally different mindsets. And when it comes to the Bible, it can get you into a whole lot of trouble fast. If you've got questions, don't ask yourself. Ask Him. Period. Ask Him. And if you're ready for the answer, He will give it to you. Plain and simple. I can't believe I picked up saying that frickin' saying. Plain and simple. Damn you, Mr. West. Had a teacher. He used to say plain and simple all the time. But that was usually after a bunch of other stuff, like, Namako, I'm going to flunk you. It's as simple as that. I'm going to flunk you. If you don't get with the program, I'm going to flunk you. It's as simple as that. Plain as that. Plain as that. I mean, it's... Turtlehead. That was our nickname. One of many nicknames for Mr. Ribadab-dab. Grab a little titty in the driver's ed cap. Anyway, hey, but do you know when you have a shit ton of tenure at a school that you can grab titty in the driver's ed cab and not lose your job? Oops, did I say that? Oh, I totally said that. I don't know why I would have gave this teacher hell. Can't figure it out. I don't know. Yeah, there's, yeah. You could connect the dots from what I said and figure it out. Oh, cool. Plant sale. Sorry. I had a post in our group, so I needed to see what it was. It's all good. Plant sale. They're not, it wasn't an advertisement for the opening of the brothel or nothing. That's next weekend. Oh, man. Father must want to punish you all really bad. Anyway, let me get to doing some news. I'm jack-hoeing around. Oh, by the way, did you notice yesterday, and even before I came to do the show, I was wrong on the damn day, the entire damn day. I would have swore yesterday was Monday. I would have frickin' swore it all day long until last night after the show. I didn't even realize it until after the show. Jen's like, you got to take trash out. I'm like, no, I don't. It's Monday. And she just kind of looks at me like, I've got 3 eyeballs. And I looked at the computer and holy shit, it's Tuesday. Where the hell did Monday go? And I even looked at the shows. I even went on the YouTube and looked at the shows to make sure I didn't miss a night. How the hell? I don't know. I guess the aliens abducted me and I'm missing 24 hours or something. It's not the first time, bastards. Anyway. Let me, Mike, you shouldn't take so many bong hits before you do the show, man. It just doesn't work out. All right, let's talk about some dangerous rabbits, shall we? Because, my goodness. I mean, it's like the perfect lady for a story like this, ain't it? Dangerous rabbit terrorizes neighborhood. People often think of bunnies as cute little creatures featured in Easter celebrations and county fairs. Well, if you knew the truth about Easter. But what if one jumped up and bit you? Fuck around and find out. When I say such an animal has been terrorizing a community outside Des Moines, Iowa. People living in Perry say a cute black bunny patrolling their neighborhood. Now that's some racist bullshit right there. Patrolling their neighborhood has been far from friendly. See what I mean? Fucking profiling right from the beginning. One person captured on camera the animal aggressively lunging at them. Oof, man. Gonna have PTSD. It did more to Ramona Rustin. It jumps up and bites me, Rustin said. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got bit by a bunny. Sorry, I can't resist it. She says the bad rabbit then hopped next door to her neighbor's house. It came around to her car and wouldn't let her out of the car, Rustin said. When she did get out of her car, it chased her up to the door. Rustin called the police. 911? I really didn't take acid again. I didn't eat a bunch of edibles. That'd be hilarious. Anyway, sorry. A call report by the police shows a 13-year-old across the alley from Rustin also was bitten by the same rabbit. The Perry Police Department, this is a serial biter, the Perry Police Department said it's been a rabbit that has been around terrorizing people, Rustin said. The call report indicates the 13-year-old will be getting rabies shots. Well, that sucks. Precaution Rustin, who says she is a nurse, has no interest pursuing. No, I'm not worried about rabies because when it bit me, I didn't see it frothing at the mouth or anything like that, she said. Late Friday morning, police caught the rabbit and took it to the city's wastewater treatment plant, where it waterboarded it for hours until it has not been seen in the in the neighborhood since. That's because he's in bunny heaven. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, wash the wound and seek medical care if an unfamiliar animal bites you. It says a healthcare provider can determine if you need a rabies shot. Yeah, well, I can tell you all about that determination, okay? Do you have the animal? No? You get the rabies shot. If you don't have an animal, you get the rabies shot. That's how that works. Not one, by the way. All of them. I can't remember how many they are. Thank God I've never had to have it done. But I know it's a bunch. In the stomach, if I'm not mistaken. Yikes. Anyway. Man. Yeah. I just thought that was funny. And it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if Putin would have put a tactical nuke on Kiev. That would have been the leading story. No matter what. No matter what. That would have been it. Right, now we're going to talk about the U.S. government. And we're going to discuss why it might be that, well, we're going down this shithole. And it's not a nice shithole, okay? You know, like where they took the bunny to the wastewater treatment plant? No, we don't get that shithole. We get the Johnny on the spot shithole. We get to just roommate in there for like months. So that's the shithole that the American people get. Just wanted to make sure you had the clear visual on our situation. Anyway. So yeah, I've got a bunch of interesting articles here, and you're going to see some patterns, I think. FBI hacked American computers to fix Russian malware. The U.S. federal government has claimed that it legally hacked into a network of course, legally, into a network of computers infected by malware to shut down a Russian online spying operation. A court warrant allowed FBI agents to remotely access infected computers, which officials described as an innovative use of legal authorities. It's another way of saying that they broke the shit out of the law, and they're not going to tell us. On Tuesday, the U.S. Department of Justice revealed details of Operation Medusa. I mean, that sounds innocent, right? I mean, Operation Medusa, you know? I mean, you see a bitch coming at you with a bunch of snakes for her fucking head. That's going to be something I trust. A joint effort by several U.S. and foreign law enforcement and intelligence agencies that targeted a hacker group nicknamed Turla. Well, I mean, fuck, you brought out Medusa. Turla doesn't stand a chance. U.S. officials claimed that the group was linked to the Russian Federal Security Service and had deployed a sophisticated malware toolkit dubbed Snake. That's so original, wasn't it? I thought it was just absolutely phenomenally original. Compromised computers were used by the hackers to copy stolen files and deploy their cyber weapons, Washington claimed. The Justice Department, together with our international partners, has dismantled a global network of malware-infected computers that the Russian government has used for nearly 2 decades to conduct cyber espionage, including against our NATO allies, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said. Do we, trust a damn thing that comes from our intelligence agencies? Because I don't think we do. I think that ship sailed long ago. So basically, let me break this down and give you the clip notes. The U.S. government broke into a lot of our computers and did a lot of bullshit with an innovative use of legal authorities. I'm sure, by the way, they only done it out of an abundance of caution, I assure you. Bastards. Anyway, moving on. CIA and another big group of scumbags allegedly involved in downplaying Hunter Biden laptop scandal, says House committee. The U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, which is just an oxymoron to begin with, may have been instrumental in downplaying the Hunter Biden laptop scandal ahead of his father's election as president in 2020, a new interim report by the House Judicial Committee suggests. It says the agency may have particularly particularly something to that effect, assisted in garnering support for an open letter authored by the host and former intelligence officials, which falsely claimed the whole affair was a Russian disinformation campaign. Oh, trust me. It just no. They keep getting better, right? The report, which was released on Wednesday, cites one of the letter's signatories, former CIA analyst David Carlins, who said he was approached by an employee of the intelligence agency and asked if he would sign the document. I'll tell you what, there is so much craziness going on with this, but I'm telling you right now, don't let it consume you, not even a little bit, because it's only a distraction. If you think that a damn thing's going to happen to any of these people, you're as naive as it gets. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth. This is a distraction. This is to placate the masses. Oh, looky, they're doing something. They're getting somewhere. They do this nonstop. They've done it for decades. They've been doing it to both sides. And even people that don't pick a side, they do it too. You know, it's time we really, really knock off putting up with it. It really is. Anyway, U.S. developed AI tool to battle Russian disinformation, says Blinken. You see, isn't this amazing, just all this stuff that they're doing? By the way, I just want to remind you that we need to worry about all the other nations and their cyber hacking abilities. Don't take a look at the United States. Don't do that. No. They're on the high road. They would never do that stuff, you know, for nefarious reasons or anything. They would never imprison people for several years over a really, really bullshit claim. No. This is the United States of America. You know, the red, the white, the stars on the flag. See? See how you feel now? Does that feeling feel like it would be a destructive thing? Hey, that's what they do, man. That is what they do. And that is all I can see on the 4th of July. That's all I can see. I look around and it's just like, are you people out of your fucking minds? Your kid can't sell lemonade in the front fucking yard and you're going to celebrate your freedom? Are you out of your damn mind? That's just how I feel on it. If you feel differently, that's fine. But, jeez. How much more can we say? Oh, we'll keep buying your bullshit and play along. Can you say than that? Fuck. Man, they'll do anything that we allow them to do. Fucking crazy. Sorry, it is. It is. From the top to the bottom. Right? Yeah, I belong to all kinds of different groups and stuff like that. You know, I even belong, there's some parental groups, father's right groups and stuff like that I belong to. I just made even the comment the other day, and it's not the first time. I've made it several times. Man, none of this shit is going to change until the people get off of their asses and do something. You don't have to do anything illegal. You don't have to do anything violent. You don't have to do that. And the example I gave when it came to the whole child support bullshit and the custody bullshit, with the way that men get so screwed over by that, all you got to do is get 10%. Get 10% of the men that are ordered to pay child support, or 10% of the men that got screwed over on visitation. All you got to do is get 10% of those men to assemble at their county courthouse on the day that family court takes place. And I guarantee you, if 10% of those individuals showed up, nobody could even get anywhere near the fucking courthouse because the people would be out for blocks. from the courthouse. And you want to talk about a statement. Nobody would have to get violent. Nobody would have to do anything out of hand. And I guarantee you that overnight shit would change. But you can't get people motivated to do anything other than go to a fucking ball game. How do you work with that? How do you work with that? Sorry. It's frustrating. I'm tired of being kicked. I am fucking tired of being kicked. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm tired of these cocksuckers doing any damn thing that they want. Anything that they please. Doesn't matter. We get caught for jaywalking, they fuck us. Nah. Nah. Nope. They will only do what you let them. Plain and simple. Biden fears for U.S. reputation. See, I was actually going somewhere with this. Now, why on earth would you possibly fear U.S. reputation? I mean, we're just a shining example of the solar system, aren't we? I can't even read this bullshit. Can't even read it. You get the point, though. And then we get this. Which, the good news is, at least the United States at this point isn't stepping their foot more into the dog turd, but they will. Give them time. Washington relieved UK would cross red line for Kiev, says Politico. Officials in the administration of U.S. President Joe Biden are reportedly breathing a quiet sigh of relief over reports that the UK will send long-range missiles to Ukraine. Washington views the provision of long-range weaponry to Ukraine as a step too far that would not be backed by lawmakers. The reaction was described by Politico in a newsletter on Tuesday, citing anonymous sources in the U.S. government. The British plan has been covered by the Washington Post, which cited its own unnamed sources. Politico's NatSec Daily was told that Washington's position remained unchanged and that the Pentagon was not going to send Army tactical missile systems or ATACMS, or I don't know how they would say that, ATACMS, to Ukraine, even with the UK crossing that line first. An outcome, the Post said, London had hoped for. According to the original report, the British Ministry of Defense asked for expressions of interest in providing to Ukraine strike capabilities with a range of up to 300 kilometers or 200 miles. The wording was included in a procurement notice posted last week by the British-led International Fund for Ukraine, which serves as a vehicle for funneling military aid to Kiev. It says here the weapons in question will probably be Storm Shadow cruise missiles, the newspaper said. Unlike the ground-launched ballistic ATACMs, they must be fired from an air platform but have comparable range. So, it's, I don't know. I just hope folks putting back food, putting back supplies. People talk of the 2024 election. We got to make it that far. I don't know about you. And I know it's kind of early into the season still, but I haven't seen all of the campaign shit. And I know as far as a lot of the advertising, commercials, stuff like that, we're not quite there yet on the timeline. Getting there. But it's just been really quiet when it comes to the whole campaign thing. And I'm talking about from the top to the bottom. I find that a little interesting. I really do. I don't know, I pick up on stuff like that. Just a little odd. Normally by now, people would be full on retard. I mean, they'd be starting to do the commercials and stuff like that, and, you know, not so much. Not like for anybody. I mean, I know Trump has his little gatherings, and, you know, Biden hides in his basement, and, you know, I'm sure DeSantis talks to some people. Robert Kennedy Jr., he's, you know, I'm not going to say who, because I don't believe in doing this. A person's choice is their choice. It's nobody else's business what that choice is. One of those choices is voting. So, I'm not going to say who, but I was talking to somebody today, and I was actually kind of surprised, because we got to talking about the upcoming election, and, you know, he kind of thinks that there's a fairly good chance that it'd be another, you know, bout between Biden and Trump. And, you know, he hopes it doesn't turn out like that. I hope it doesn't turn out like that. And so we got to talking, and I'm like, man, I'd like to see Robert Kennedy Jr. against DeSantis. And he's like, yeah. He goes, that would be a good one. He said, there's just one thing. And I kind of really didn't expect this from him, but I said it at the same time pretty much he did. I think I'd have to vote for Kennedy. I think if it was DeSantis and Kennedy, I'd have to pick Kennedy. And I'm telling you, if Kennedy wins in the primaries and stuff, I may have to go back on my word. But I feel very confident with that choice. Like, really confident with that choice. Probably more confident than anybody aside from, like, Ron Paul. But I get it. Ron's a bit old now. But, yeah. I'd definitely be good with Robert Kennedy Jr. So, hey, I mean, I don't think he would do anything too stupidly horrible. Certainly not like this clown circus we've got in there now. And he got common sense. He doesn't believe in the military-industrial complex. He doesn't believe in the medical-industrial complex. He doesn't believe in any of that. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need somebody that's going to focus on pulling this country out of the grips of corporations and government. And I believe that he would be top of the list as somebody that would actually work towards doing that. I don't know. Russian pipeline supplying oil to EU bombed by Kiev's forces, says Transnet. This is nuts. The reason why I'm saying this is nuts is because I know why. I mean, there's more than one reason. It's not just strategic in like a military sense. But if they can destroy the supply of energy from Russia to other places, then the United States can be the one that steps up to sell those resources and reap the profits. Make no mistake. The United States has been engaged in predatory business practices for a long damn time. And they've done so by the threat of our military, essentially. Well, guess what? That chicken's come home to roost. And I don't think it's going to work out so well for us. But that's why they're doing this. They're doing this to prevent Russia from being able to supply energy to other nations, to A, be able to, keep their money up, and B, just to have that, trade with other nations. NATO, not just the United States, NATO needs to stop. Because at this point in time, anything that they do will only make the situation worse for everyone involved. And that's the really sad part of it, because it's the citizens of all these nations, including our own, that are suffering as a result of NATO and Putin's little purse fight. The citizens. It's crazy. And of course the troops. But it's mind-blowing. And we allow it. It's crazy. Man. Headlines. There's a fair amount of them today. It wasn't real horrible. But there's quite a bit of different information that came out. Just gonna run through them and get the night over and relax. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, I guess somebody else let him in. I guess. Yep. Okay, good deal. Anywho, reckon we can do some headlines and boogie on out. Oh, man. Yeah, I know. I heard her back there. I'm working on it. The daughter is disgruntled. She's beside herself when she couldn't be outside in everybody's way all day. Okay. Former UK Premier to visit Taiwan. Biden fears for U.S. Oh, I've covered that. Eurozone inflation rising. UK food prices skyrocket, says data. And yeah, I could have brought those articles up, but you know what? Like the whole COVID thing, it gets old saying it over and over and over. We're in bad shape. It's not going to change anytime soon. Let's see. Did those. Russian governor blames Ukrainian drone for explosion. Russia to withdraw from European arms treaty. Russia-China trade booming, says data. Update issued on Ural's forest fires. Ukraine's top general skips NATO meeting. Roger. Let's see. Let's see. Ukrainian crop exports plunge ahead of grain deal talks, says Bloomberg. First three-parent baby born in the UK. Three-parent baby. There's just no good places I can go with jokes on that. You realize that, right? Yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone. Polish renaming of Russian city is madness, says Kremlin. Russian oil shipments surged despite production cut, says Bloomberg. Let's see. EU begins collective gas buying. A number of civilians killed by Kiev in Donbass named by Russia. EU's top diplomat says he knows how to stop Ukraine conflict. France vows to pursue biggest tax cheats. Georgian president accuses Russia of provocation. EU state plans to eradicate May 9 celebrations of victory over Nazis. It's mind-blowing to me, the support that Nazism is getting right now. It is really mind-blowing. And how people could be behind it and not see what they're doing is beyond me. I don't get it. And that's something I asked myself about that time period in history, about, I just would ponder, would I have caught on to it? Would I have realized, what was going on? I think so, because I think it's going on again right now. And I can't believe for a second that all of those people in Germany were in favor of what was going on. I don't believe it. I think there are a lot of people that just kept quiet because they didn't want to be the one to stick their head up, much like is happening right now here in the United States. It is what it is, folks. Your head's going to get lopped off one way or another. You might as well stick it up and scream, Let's see. U.S. congressman arrested on litany of federal charges. Young Americans don't understand history of World War II, says the Kremlin. U.S. urged to focus on Latin America because of RT. CIA allegedly involved in downplaying... Oh, I actually covered that one. EU's Borrell rebukes NATO head. EU threatens Serbia over pro-Russian position. Conditions for Ukrainian counteroffensive not in place, says top German general. Well, yeah, no kidding, because Russia blew the hell out of it. More than once. Israel at height of battle with Gaza militants, says Netanyahu. Kremlin not worried about ICC warrant for Putin, says spokesman. Well, no, because I'm pretty sure if you try to arrest Putin on an international warrant, he's going to consider that to be one of the existential threats. So you take that for what it's worth. You want to get buttons pushed, arrest Putin, and they know it. They know it. Drone hits government building in Russia, says governor. West only interested in talking down to Russia, says the Kremlin. Well, welcome to the West mindset. It's what it's all about. Kremlin explains why it no longer speaks to Western media. I'm pretty sure that's obvious. Anyway, that's it. Those are the headlines. Now we can all run around outside with our arms in the air, screaming the end is nigh. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice night out. I mean, might as well. It gives us something to do. You know. Or not. I don't know. Lay old man, brother, we gotta meet up in the Oculus Cat House, brother. I didn't realize that I didn't accept. I thought I did I don't know, do whatever, followed you, whatever the hell. I thought I did everything that I needed to do, and I just realized today that I didn't. So I clicked on your name and then clicked whatever the hell it was, follow, salute, worship. I don't know what the button said, but I clicked the hell out of it, man. So, yeah, I saw that it told me that you accepted it. I'm telling you, I don't know jack crap about that thing. I know how to get into Flight Sim. I know how to freak the hell out of myself on roller coasters. That's pretty easy to do. That reminds me, there's still one roller coaster I haven't been on. Maybe I need to go on that before bed. I think I need to go on that before bed. I got one roller coaster yet I haven't checked out. The last one that's available to me. I don't know if it's at beach or something. I don't remember what it was. Tropical or something. I can't remember. But I'm going to check it out. And I haven't played any golf in the last couple of days. I need to get on that here soon too. So, I don't know. Just fun. Just fun. I might even have to go in and do a little golf and pull up a Tool playlist or something to listen to while I whack around at the ground for a while, because I suck. I really suck, but it's fun. Anyway, I am going to get the hell out of here and do that stuff. Yeah, the roller coaster. Now, I haven't tried the vids. This is, the roller coaster game app thing. I don't know. Can I even open up the thing on my computer without the device on? I don't know. We'll find out. We will find out if I can find the frickin' Q's. Where's the Q? There it is. It's not in the Q's. It's in the O's. Oculus. Let's see. Library. Epic roller coasters. That's what I'm talking about. Epic roller coasters. That is freaking awesome. But yeah. If you don't have epic roller coasters, man, you need to check that one out. Okay, I will have to look that up. I know there's a bunch of VR video stuff out there. So yeah, I'll have to look that up. Definitely. That I don't know if you've ever done that epic roller coaster thing, but that's a lot of fun. And I've only rode the roller coasters. You can have races. You can have something to do with, I guess, shooting at targets or something like that as you're on the roller coaster. I haven't done any of that yet. I will get to that, but it's pretty cool. Pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. It's weird, man. Just VR is just weird, dude. It just, and maybe this doesn't happen to everyone, but dude, it's like I feel the forces on my body with stuff. I mean, it's just really weird. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It tricks your mind. I mean, it so much puts you there. If I yank back on the stick in an airplane, I feel like I'm pulling G's, and it's like I'm sitting in my damn computer chair. It's the weirdest damn thing ever. And it takes it up another 10 levels by putting your feet on rudder pedals, because that's not on a solid, steady ground. And so I swear, you can even feel the rudder pedals coming up on your feet. It's just the weirdest damn thing ever. And I love it. I can't get enough of it, man. That this is one thing that I absolutely do not regret doing, was getting VR. And that's a very, 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 very rare thing for me, because I'm one of those that do get buyer's remorse or regret, whatever you want to call it, anytime I spend money. It's kind of a thing. I really honestly, I don't like spending money. I don't. Probably seems like I do, but actually, no, I don't. So it took a lot to get me to invest that much into entertainment, if you will. But I don't regret it one bit. And I would advise anybody that had thought about it or on the fence, it's cool. It is really, really cool. And if you need something, if you don't have 20 other things that you do for leisure and enjoyment, then yeah, it's something seriously to look at, because it's cool. And I'm just doing just a fraction of what's available. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, and you know, that's a saying, though, that the old saying, you only live once. I stay away from that. That'll get you in a lot of trouble. That'll get you in a lot of trouble. In fact, that was the last thing that was said to me once many, 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 many years ago, when I did get into a bunch of trouble. That was literally the last thing that was said to me before we did something really stupid and got in trouble for it. So I've always been a little careful of that saying. But anywho, yeah. Oh, I know. I get it. But some people don't, and so that's why it's kind of one of those things to where, well, it all goes along with, like, the lead by example kind of stuff. When it comes to that stuff, I will never promote things like YOLO and all that kind of nonsense, because it's self-serving kind of stuff. And while you absolutely do need to take care of yourself, there's a difference between taking care of yourself and making an excuse to have everything. So balance is important. I don't have a handle on that balance, because I can't get myself to let go enough to enjoy myself. So, and it sucks. I'm on that spectrum, and it's all about balance, and I'm saying that at the same time, I can't personally control that balance. So I try to keep it kind of tipped on the practical side if I can, because I hadn't always been the same person with the same mindset. So there are times where I would piss away a shit ton of money in a hurry and not think twice about it. A lot of those times. In fact, a lot more of those times than there are today, the sensible, practical times. Damn it, I got old. That's what I'm saying. I got old. Oh, well. Actually, I wish I would have knew this shit. I did know this shit. I did know better in my younger days. I just didn't give a damn. I did whatever I wanted to anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go have a short date with some VR before bed. And I hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. And I'll try not to be as stupid tomorrow. I'll try. No promises, though. And I hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.